Every PC builder thinks they are normal until you ask them how many hours they spent choosing a motherboard they will barely use. Some people buy a computer and move on. Some people watch one build guide and suddenly think they understand the entire PC industry. And some people end up with a server rack in their room and a power bill problem. So the real question is not can you build a PC, it is what level of PC builder are you? Level 1 Pre-Built Buyer. Level 1 is the pre-built buyer. This person does not want a hobby. They want a computer. It needs to open Chrome, run Zoom, handle schoolwork, and maybe play a few light games. They say, it's just for work or online classes. Why does it need to be fancy? And honestly, that is fair. Not everyone needs to know what a VRM is, a Dell Inspiron, or HP Office Tower makes sense to them. It turns on, it has Windows, it has USB ports, done. When they say, my Dell runs fine, so why would I build one myself? They're optimizing for convenience, not control. The weakness is that they often judge PCs by simple surface specs, brand name, storage size, maybe the CPU generation. Then comes the classic question. 8 GB of RAM is enough, right? Sometimes it is, sometimes it is not. A pre-built can be fine today, but still have weak cooling, limited upgrades, or a power supply that was never meant for future parts. At this level, the PC is still an appliance, not a project. Then one day, they try to play a game. Level 2, First-Time Builder. Level 2 begins with dangerous confidence. This is the first-time builder. They watched one Linus Tech Tips video, maybe one Jay's 2 cents guide, and now building a PC looks easy. The internet says it is adult Lego. How hard can it be? This is where they say, building your own PC is 30% cheaper than buying a pre-built. Sometimes that is true. Sometimes they forgot to count Windows, shipping, tools, warranty, and the cost of their own mistakes. But the excitement is real. The CPU has a socket. The RAM clicks into place. The GPU looks huge. The power supply has way more cables than expected. For the first time, the computer is not a sealed box. Then they press the power button. Nothing happens. Or the fans spin, but there is no display. Maybe the RAM is in the wrong slot. Maybe the monitor is plugged into the motherboard instead of the GPU. Or maybe they forgot the classic one, the CPU power connector. That tiny cable near the top of the motherboard humbles many beginners. But when the fix finally works, the BIOS screen appears, and everything suddenly feels worth it. They did not just buy a PC, they made one work. After the first build is done, they cannot stop. Level 3 Budget Optimizer. Level 3 is where PC building becomes a math problem. This is the Budget Optimizer. They are not just buying parts anymore, they are hunting value. Every dollar has to justify itself. Their PC part picker tab has been open for 6 months. They know which GPU went on sale last week. They know which CPU is technically older but still faster per dollar. They do not ask, what is the best part? They ask, what is the best part for the money? This is where the spreadsheet appears. They compare FPS charts, power draw, used prices, motherboard support, and upgrade paths. They know GPU prices can swing with crypto trends, new launches, and inventory drops. They may even buy a last-gen CPU because the IPC per dollar makes more sense than chasing the newest name. The danger is over-optimizing. They can spend 10 hours saving $20. They can also trust bottleneck calculators too much. Even though real performance depends on the game, resolution, settings, and workload. But this level teaches an important lesson. Expensive does not always mean smart. A balanced PC usually feels better than one flashy part surrounded by weak choices. At level 3, the builder stops asking, can I build it? And starts asking, can I build it better for less? Then budget stops being the main limit. Level 4, Enthusiast. Level 4 is the enthusiast. This person knows the specs, the benchmarks, the exceptions, and the tiny details most people ignore. They do not just want a fast PC, they want to understand why it is fast. They might choose a Ryzen 79800X3D because the extra L3 cache can reduce latency in certain games. They know why average FPS is not the whole story. They care about frame times, thermals, noise, memory speed, and whether the system feels stable under real use. This is where tuning begins. They manually adjust DDR5 timings. They check BIOS updates before installing Windows. They know the difference between airflow fans and static pressure fans. They may even measure airflow, reposition fans, and argue about whether the top radiator should be intake or exhaust. The funny part is that some of this barely matters to normal users. Repasting a CPU every 6 months is usually unnecessary. Spending 2 days tuning memory for a small gain can be hard to justify. But that is the enthusiast mindset. The point is not always practicality. The point is control. At this level, the PC is no longer just a tool. It is a system to be studied, tuned, and improved. And once performance feels maxed out, the next obsession is how it looks. Level 5 Modder, or aesthetics. Level 5 is where performance is no longer enough. This is the modder. The PC still has to run fast, but now it also has to look intentional. Cable colors matter. Coolant color matters. The angle of the GPU matters. Even the screws start feeling like part of the design. For this builder, the case is not just a container, it is a display piece. They spend 4 hours trying to get one perfect 90-degree hard tube bend. They order custom sleeved cables to match the coolant. They cut panels, swap glass, add lighting, and plan the build around a color theme most people will never notice. And when someone says, "It is just a PC," they take that personally. The funny part is that aesthetics can make the build harder to maintain. A clean loop can be annoying to drain. Perfect cable routing can become a problem when one part needs replacing. A beautiful system can turn a simple upgrade into a full weekend project. But that is the trade-off. Level 5 is not only chasing performance, it is chasing pride. At this level, the PC becomes a personal signature. And once one beautiful PC is not enough, the rabbit hole gets bigger. Level 6, Home Lab and NAS Builder. Level 6 is where the PC leaves the desk and becomes infrastructure. This is the Home Lab builder. They are not satisfied with one gaming PC anymore. Now they want storage, backups, virtual machines, remote access, media servers, network experiments, and maybe a machine running in the closet for reasons nobody else understands. They say things like, "Proxmox is running 12 VMs at the same time," as if that is a normal sentence. This is where ZFS RAID Z26 drive bays and 48 terabytes of storage start sounding reasonable. They do not just save files, they design storage pools. They do not just use Wi-Fi, they think about pulling fiber between 2 rooms. At some point, the power bill goes up. That is when reality checks in. More drives mean more heat. More servers mean more noise. More uptime means more responsibility. Suddenly, the builder is debugging a network issue at midnight because the media server disappeared. And then comes the hardest part, explaining why there is a 42U rack in the bedroom. Level 6 is not about building one fast PC. It is about building a small personal data center. And then, somehow, even that is still not extreme enough. Level 7, Extreme Overclocker. Level 7 is where PC building stops being practical. This is the Extreme Overclocker. They are not building a daily computer anymore. They are chasing numbers, records, and leaderboard positions. Normal cooling is not enough. A custom loop is not enough. Even a chiller starts looking boring. This is the person who delids a CPU, replaces the stock thermal material with liquid metal, and treats warranty like a suggestion. Then comes the liquid nitrogen. LN2 gets poured into a cooling pot at around minus 196 degrees Celsius. The goal is not comfort, silence, or long-term stability. The goal is to keep the chip cold enough to push voltage and frequency far beyond normal limits. Everything becomes temporary. The system might only have a short boot window before the temperature changes. Frost builds up around the socket. Condensation becomes a real enemy. A CPU running 6.8 GHz all-core at minus 130 degrees sounds insane because it is. But there is control inside the chaos. Extreme overclockers know voltage behavior, silicon quality, memory training, BIOS quirks, and exactly how far a chip can be pushed before it gives up. This level is not about building the best PC for gaming. It is about proving what hardware can do when every normal limit is removed. At level 7, the PC is no longer a tool, a hobby, or even a showpiece. It is an experiment. If this breakdown was useful, give it a like, subscribe for more deep dive tech content, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video.